Fear can creep into our lives quietly. It starts with a small worry about money, health, the future, and before long, it takes over. Matthew 10 verse 31 says, "So don't be afraid, you are worth more than many sparrows." At first glance, it seems simple. But hidden in this verse is a deep truth about who we are and how much God cares for us. Jesus spoke these words to his disciples when sending them out to share the gospel. He warned them that they would face rejection, hatred, and even danger. Yet he also reminded them that God's eye was on them at every moment. If he watches over the sparrows, tiny, common birds with little value in human terms, how much more does he watch over his children? This verse is not just about comfort, it's about confidence. Jesus was not saying, "Don't worry, nothing bad will happen." He was saying, even if it does, your Father will still care for you. There's a difference. Faith doesn't mean living without trouble. It means facing trouble without fear. Fear blocks faith. Trust restores peace. Fear and faith cannot live in the same heart. One pushes the other out. That's why the enemy uses fear as a weapon to paralyze us. When fear grows, trust fades. You stop praying. You stop believing. You begin to act as if God has forgotten you. But fear lies. It tells you that you're alone. It tells you that you're powerless. It tells you that the future is dark and uncertain. God says otherwise. Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." Every time fear tries to control your thoughts, God responds with a promise of his presence. The truth is simple but strong. Don't let fear take control. Fear blocks faith. Trust brings peace in moments of worry. Peace doesn't come from knowing how everything will work out. It comes from knowing who holds it together. When we remember that God cares even for the sparrows, we begin to trust that our lives are not forgotten. You are worth more than you think. We often measure our worth by what we have or what others think of us. But in Matthew 10:31, Jesus shatters that idea. He points to something small and says, "If God cares for them, how much more for you?" Sparrows were cheap in the marketplace, 2 sold for a penny. Yet not one of them falls without God noticing. That means every detail of your life matters to him. Every tear, every quiet struggle, every prayer whispered in the dark, he sees it all. Sometimes it feels like God is silent. You pray, but nothing seems to change. You try, but the fear still lingers. That's when you have to remind yourself of this truth. God's silence is not his absence. He is near, even when unseen. Faith means choosing to believe in his care, even when you don't feel it. It means saying, "I trust you, God," when fear tells you to panic. Philippians 4 verse 6 and 7 reminds us, "Do not be anxious about anything, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." You don't have to earn God's love or prove your value. It's already settled. You are worth more than many sparrows. Let this truth quiet your fears. When worry starts to rise, pause and pray. "Lord, I trust you. Help me believe that I'm safe in your hands."